It's been an interesting little while in the world of right-wing conservatism. Last month, we had the president of Mexico elected, the first woman president, left-leaning. Britain took a hard swing last week. They said, thanks, Tories, but you can fuck all the way off. And then the pièce de la résistance. France said no merci to the National Rally Party. The National Rally Party doesn't like immigrants. They basically wanted to segregate immigrants and offer them less services. Well, different services. Because there's nothing that the alt-right loves more than segregation. I'm sure that's making him very sad. Because Stephen Harper is the chairman of the IDU, the International Democracy Union. It sounds like a good thing, but it's not a good thing. It's where the countries under conservative leadership gather together to figure out how to fuck everybody over. I guess he has less people participating now. I mean, I think we were all a little bit worried in France, because all we'd heard was this rising up of the alt-wrong, to the point where Macron said, let's do it. Let's do it. And the National Party was confident. Now, they absolutely got more seats than they had before. Not enough. All of this to say, the alt-wrong generally walk around confident. They march. Their little matchy-matchy outfits. The irony of these people saying that masks were restrictive during COVID, yet they're gonna hide their fucking faces while they're wearing their khakis. Can you imagine the commission that Gap sales rep got? So many khakis. Anyway, the alt-wrong is loud, but things just never seem to work out for them. Like the Dunkaroos that were protesting on the side of the highway. Whoopsies! That went wah-wah. Because I believe the majority of people, even though they get a little bit salty about me, just can't fully commit to the outright racism and hatred perpetuated by these alt-wrong groups. Like Pierre spending his days catering to evangelical Christians. Now look it, I'm going to tell you the big difference between the alt-wrong and the rest of us. As a non-alt-wrong, you want to be an evangelical Christian? Okay. You want to take your kids to church twice a week? Okay. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. You don't want to teach things like sex ed in your home? You want to exclude your child from learning about that in school? Okay. Because I'm not a hypocrite, and when I say I live in a country that offers the freedom for people to be who they are, worship what they want, even if I don't like it, even if it doesn't pertain to me, I'm not going to limit it unless you're a bigoted fucking racist. That's why we have laws. Whereas the alt-wrong side doesn't want anybody believing anything else except what they believe. It's not freedom in any way, shape, or form. The clip is somewhere, I didn't get it. But as Pierre was prophetizing to some of these evangelical Christian churches, one of the pastors said that he believed that Pierre was going to be the next prime minister and turn things around. Do I think he meant financially? Housing? No, I don't think he meant that at all. I think he meant that Pierre was going to turn things around to suit the narrative of evangelical Christians. Which again, you want to believe. But you don't get to restrict people's rights because it doesn't fall in line with what you believe. A story. And that's the difference. As an example, where some of the alt-wrong might not like members of the 2S LGBTQIA+ community, call them horrible names, want to wipe them out from existence, the rest of us believe people should just be able to exist as who they are. We're not trying to force everybody to be part of the 2S LGBTQIA+ community. We don't walk around trying to abolish people who are straight, despite what their fucking audacity thinks. Just like with abortion. The pro-birthers want to force everybody to have babies. Whereas someone who is pro-choice, like me, doesn't mean we're pro-abortion. We're not saying everybody needs to get rid of whatever's growing inside, try to mandate it. We're just saying people have a choice. And so that's really the differences. They can be loud and march. They can come up with their little slogans. But I think what people in France really realized is that when you're dealing with an alt-wrong group, even though you may believe a little bit of what they say, you gotta look at the bigger picture and understand that getting behind 100% of what those groups believe is dangerous. Because anybody who thinks they're safe in the moment with one of these groups, it's just not the case. So we can work on the things that we need to work on, and there is a lot, but we can do that living in a country that understands that people are diverse. We are built on diversity. We are built on those freedoms. Pierre Poilievre doesn't want you to have freedoms. We got Danielle Smith in Alberta trying to control everything. Why is that? I thought you guys were about freedom. But the fact of the matter is they're just about control. And I think France figured that out. It's easy to point fingers and blame things, but it's just a matter of time before that finger's pointed at you. Don't vote for those kinds of groups. Don't vote for a Pierre Poilievre. He is not going to make things better, no matter how many times he tells you he will, because at the end of the day, he's just about control. Vive la France!